I can't think of a single argument for open borders immigration, whether it's illegal or otherwise. Because, for example, I was on UT campus yesterday, and I did a report that I'm probably going to play here in a few minutes. But they brought up trying to make the immigration system more efficient. They wanted to make it more efficient so that more people could come in, so that people wouldn't have to come in illegally. But I don't see why we would make it easier to come in legally. What's the problem with illegal immigration then? If we just want anybody to come in, as many groups, as many people to come in, no matter who they are, as possible. We just want them to do it legally. Like, no, that's not what we want. Let's talk a little bit about the left, like we have been for the past few minutes. Where was it? I think it was in Corsicana, Texas. They recently removed a gorilla in a cage. There was a gorilla in a cage, just a statue in a park, like a children's park in Corsicana, Texas. And it was removed for racial insensitivity. It was removed. Luckily, now they're putting it back because of the public backlash. But there's nothing about this that is racially insensitive. It's just a cage with a gorilla in it. And some groups lose their minds saying that it's racially insensitive. I don't know what they could possibly be insinuating. I don't even know what they could be thinking when they say that a gorilla in a cage is racially insensitive. I don't know, but there's nothing about it. It's the same as when CNN published a title saying Trump wants the GOP to court black voters and then slams felons' voter rights, because CNN thinks that being a felon is primarily a black problem in the United States. I just think it's really interesting. Because we can talk all day long about how, the left are the real racists, the Democrats are the real racists, Jim Crow, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. But I don't really even care about that stuff. It's kind of stupid to me. Honestly, what I'm more worried about is why is this still allowed to go on? Because obviously the left doesn't care. The Democrats don't care about minorities. But it's just so blatantly obvious that they see them a certain way. And then they want to slam us for hating immigrants, hating blah, 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 all these other lies that they've made up. And for some reason, this goes back to what I was talking about how to argue with liberals. You need to actually call them out for what they do, not just defend yourself. Don't be on the defensive all the time. Why are they allowed to equate felons' voter rights to black issues in the U.S.? And we're over here defending ourselves, saying we don't actually hate Mexicans. Not all Mexicans are rapists. We're only talking about illegal immigrants. We know that we're talking about illegal immigrants when we say that. Why are we trying to justify to the left-wing media that, we don't actually dislike Mexicans, we just dislike illegal immigrants? Why do we have to justify that to them? Day in and day out, we see the left use minorities as their little puppets, their little voting thing. And it's so insane. The only reason that they care about Mexican immigrants is because they're a huge voting bloc for them. They don't actually, there's no reason. There's no rational argument to say that we should have open borders or that everybody has a right to come here. Because no, not everybody has a right to come here. I actually would say nobody has a right to come here. Once you're here, once you have citizenship, you have all the rights that the Constitution affords anybody. But there's I can't think of a single argument for open borders immigration, whether it's illegal or otherwise. Because, for example, I was on UT campus yesterday, and I did a report that I'm probably going to play here in a few minutes. But they brought up trying to make the immigration system more efficient. They wanted to make it more efficient so that more people could come in, so that people wouldn't have to come in illegally. But I don't see why we would make it easier to come in legally. What's the problem with illegal immigration then? If we just want anybody to come in, We just want anybody to come in, as many groups, as many people to come in, no matter who they are, as possible. We just want them to do it legally. Like, no, that's not what we want. I don't know why conservatives aren't willing to say, no, we want, Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is willing to say we need extreme vetting. That word wasn't even in the conservative lexicon until Trump brought it up. But why? And now Trump is just about the only one that's talking about immigration. He says we want good people. Like, yeah, fine. If you want people to come in, by all means, but we want a merit-based immigration system. I don't know why. I mean, I actually believe that we should, this is just my personal opinion. I think that immigration should be severely slowed down for a period of time. You know, Ann Coulter's talked about this. The immigration system used to open up and let in a lot of people. That's what you see with Ellis Island throughout history. You see this image of immigrants coming in and just and setting up their own communities. But we don't hear, what you don't hear after Ellis Island and everybody comes in and they get their American citizenship, etc. The immigration doors would close for 15 years or so to allow the people that got here to assimilate. Because you can't just let people come in from the third world, peasant class people, as Ann Coulter would say, and you can't expect them to know what it is to be an American. You can't expect them to know how our government works. And that's the thing. You can't. They need to know how the government works. They need to know how American society operates because they have a stake in voting. They can vote whenever they become a citizen. They can vote and influence the American government, which is why you see so many people that come in from Mexico and these other South American countries. You see it a ton when people come in from West Africa and other areas like that. They don't have any idea of what it is to be an American. They don't have any idea of our version of individual responsibility. So you have these people coming in and they have this power to vote, and they see one candidate that says, I want to empower you to do whatever you can do with your own work. And then they see another candidate that says, yeah, we'd like to put you to work, but we'd also like to give you money just for free for however long you need it / want it. Who are they going to vote for? They don't understand. A lot of these people, especially from Africa, don't understand because they have basically no government. And then they come here and all of a sudden they have this enormous government. So why would they care? They haven't been, generations of their family haven't been paying into the tax system, paying into Medicare, Social Security, other social safety net programs. They don't have any stake in that. It's somebody else's money. So anyways, why do conservatives not just come out and say the truth? Why do they feel like they have to virtue signal to the left? Yeah, go inside little Mogadishu, because that's what happens. If you look in Canada, for example, Americans call us the melting pot. We call ourselves the melting pot. That's not how it used to be, because it wasn't a melting pot. It was a very distinct culture. It was British Protestant culture. And then people could come in and assimilate to that by wherever you're from, come in and assimilate to Anglo-American Protestant culture. But then somewhere along the line, like along the lines of the Statue of Liberty poem, which Jim Acosta tried to get Stephen Miller on, but he got by Stephen Miller after Miller asked him about the Statue of Liberty, law of the land. So somewhere along the lines, it became the melting pot. Somewhere along the lines, it became give me your tired, poor masses rather than come in and be Americans. It became bring your own culture and we'll meld it all together. But in reality, what happens is it's not a melting pot. You get what you see in Canada, where they don't even call it a melting pot. They call it a mosaic, because it's fractured groups living together. It's fractured groups that live in their own little bubble, like we just saw there, little Mogadishu. And the same thing happened after Ellis Island. You saw little Italy, I assume there was things like little Poland or whatever, where different groups live together in their own little communities. And why wouldn't they? They all have the same language and everything. But that's why we need to close the doors and allow the people that are already here to assimilate. So I think conservatives, rather than justifying, oh no, we don't hate Mexicans. Of course we don't hate Mexicans. Of course, it's stupid for us to justify that we don't hate Mexicans. Nobody in America, like there might be like 15 people in America that actually hate Mexicans. So that was a lot of information there about immigration. For example, why are we justifying it to the liberal media?
Fuel your body with Carnivore, the new digestive enzyme product by Infowar Life. Digestive enzymes assist in the digestion process and increase the bioavailability of nutrients by breaking down foods into easily absorbable components. They also help prevent discomfort from indigestion caused by fermentation of undigested food particles in the gut. Digestive enzyme production declines as we age. Carnivore is filled with digestive enzymes like those naturally present in the body. Enjoy the full potential of protein-rich foods again. You can eat protein-heavy foods now while minimizing the later indigestion and discomfort commonly associated with high-meat diets. Just one pill with every high-protein meal helps increase the bioavailability and absorption of amino acids, the building blocks to your muscles. Carnivore also contains digestive enzymes to help digest fats and carbohydrates so you can fully digest all types of meals. Don't let a meal go to waste. Use Carnivore by Infowar Life. Head to InfowarsLife.com and secure your bottle now. That's InfowarsLife.com.